In our last broadcast, Professor Dershowitz, you said you finally left the Democratic Party. You are now independent. By the way, we had 940,000 views. I expect we'll get 1 million. I think the Wall Street Journal was going to do a piece on it, right?
Well, I'm working with them on a possible description of why I did it and what the Democrats have to do to get me back. But that's uncertain.
But that won't happen in a while. So will you vote for Donald J. Trump in this election since you don't like what the Democratic Party is standing for?
I hate early voting. I would abolish early voting. I would not allow anybody to vote until November 1st. Having early voting is like having a jury decide the case after hearing half the evidence. And so I'm not going to early vote. I haven't decided who I'm voting for. And I won't decide until November 1st. I'm going to hear all the evidence. I listened to the debate. It didn't change my mind. Didn't give me much information. But I want to see what happens. I want to see what happens if Iran tries to attack Israel or if Hezbollah increases their attacks. I want to see whether Donald Trump stands by Israel as he has. I want to see whether Joe Biden repeats his outrageous statement that the protesters outside the Democratic convention make good points, or Tim Walz, the Democratic nominee for vice president, says the people who are protesting are doing the right thing. I want to hear all the evidence on all the sides, and then I'll make up my mind probably on November 1st.
But you think that Vice President Kamala Harris has the same commitment to Israel than, let's say, Donald J. Trump or others?
She does not. There's no doubt about that. But I think Americans, whether Jewish or of any other background, they vote on a variety of factors. We vote on what's best for America, what's best for Israel, what's best for world peace. And I'm conflicted. I support the Democrats' policies on a great many issues, and I support Kamala Harris's policies on a great many issues, but not on Israel. And so,
isn't Israel the breaking point for you?
It is. It's a breaking point if I thought that she would absolutely abandon Israel. For example, if somebody like Liz Warren or Bernie Sanders were running, it would be a no-brainer for me. But the Biden administration did send warships to the Middle East to protect Israel. Harris is part of that administration. I wish they would do more. I am writing things about what I think they ought to do to try to get people like me back. I'm not the only former Democrat who has problems. Many of us, particularly in the Jewish community, feel homeless. We support the Democrats on domestic policies, but we support the Republicans on Israel. And so there will be many. Look, I was shocked to see that 70% of Jews still are going to vote for Harris and against Donald Trump. And you know what that does? It sends a message to the Democrats saying, you can take the Jewish vote for granted. Don't worry, they'll still vote for you no matter what you do. And so it means that the Democrats will pander to the anti-Israel vote in Michigan and Minnesota and other places, because they know that no matter what they do, the Jews are going to vote for them. And I'm trying to send a message to the Democrats that you can't count on Jewish support and Jewish votes. I hope others will join me and quit the Democratic Party and condition return to the Democratic Party on the Democratic Party returning to support Israel in as fulsome a way as the Republicans have done.
But it's not going to happen under a Harris administration. She's already sending different signals and tones.
Well, in the debate last night, she said that she supports Israel's right of self-defense and Israel's ability to get arms to defend itself. I want her to go further and say she supports Israel's right to preemptively attack and to prevent Iran from developing nuclear weapons and to prevent Hezbollah from firing 100,000 rockets into the heart of Israel. It's not enough to say I'll support Israel's right to defend itself. The United States has the right to take preemptive actions, and so does Israel.
What bothers me is that I hear compassion from they saying that Israel has killed 40,000 Palestinians. In the Ukraine-Russia war, 500,000 people have been killed, some brutally by the Russian forces. I haven't heard the same condemnation of them or the same anguish.
Forget about Ukraine. What about Darfur, Sudan, where thousands and thousands of people are deliberately being starved to death? Black people, Black lives don't matter unless they're taken by white people. The Black leadership hasn't lifted a finger to help Black people in Africa who have been victimized and subjected, yes, to genocide by other Black people, including people of Muslim background. And so the hypocrisy is absolutely rampant, and the double standard applied to the nation state of the Jewish people and to the Jewish people in general is appalling. And that's why I'm having so much trouble supporting Democratic candidates. That I'll make my decision, and yeah, you won't be the first to know, but you'll be.
Well, it's the question: either me or Steve Rosenberg will be the first to know, or Carolyn.
My wife will be the first to know. You may hear her screams all the way to New York.
I don't think she's voting for Donald Trump.
She is almost certainly not voting for Donald Trump. But look, we're individuals. We love each other, and we agree on 98% of issues, but we don't have to agree on every issue. The same thing is true with my children, all of whom will vote against Donald Trump, my grandchildren, and most of my friends. And, these are personal factors that everybody has to consider, because we live with family, we live with friends, and so
the question will be: is you know that Donald Trump is better in Israel than Kamala Harris? Will that influence you, or will your family's negative opinion of Donald Trump influence you at the end of the day?
both will, and then I'll make my decision. Call me on November 1st, and I'll let you know what I'm thinking.
Thank you for watching. If you like this content, you like our programs, please like and subscribe, as it helps the channel get these important conversations out there to a larger audience. So please become a supporter of Talkline with Zev Brenner by liking us, by supporting us, and telling all your friends to watch. Thank you.